Nathan, Nat and Shaun's Holiday Check-In Podcast. It's a vibe, summertime, it's a vibe.
Hello, welcome back. A bit of a producer podcast here for you. The guys still slacking off. They are gallivanting somewhere around the world. So instead, you've got Sam and Sam in the morning. I think it's got a nice little ring to it, but I think would be a little bit confusing if we were to make our own show, Sammy. But we've been holding down the fort here at Nova, and you've had quite an adventurous little holiday period. How's it been?
I have, it's been pretty good. I've been, getting up to some science, some might say.
Tell me this, your little weekend activity. It's that part of the year where it's summer, everyone's relaxing, getting up to fun little activities, and you and your friends decided to do a little bit of experimenting at home. Tell us.
When you say it like that, it sounds a bit creepy, but I promise it was a lot more innocent than that. So it started off chatting about Yeti water bottles, which, it's the new Frank Green cup. Everyone's got one.
Guilty.
Everyone wants one.
Are you a Yeti?
I'm a Yeti.
Man?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. What colour?
I've got the silver one because I wanted to cover it with stickers, but yeah.
Got the navy, the big one.
Yeah.
Swing it around with me at work.
I think they are getting too big, but that's a discussion for another pod. We got into the subject of water and water carrying devices and bottled water and talking about what was the best type of bottled water. A good friend of mine, Mikhail, he said that his favourite water was this one called Antipodes or Antipodes, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And it kind of brought up the conversation of, can you actually taste the difference between different waters? He firmly believed he could. I told him I think he is absolutely nuts for thinking that because it all comes out of the same tap, just in a different country. And so it led us on to a science experiment to find out what different types of water taste like, and could you actually tell the difference and to find the best bottled water.
Okay, the definitive winner. I love this. And now, are you one of the people that cannot drink tap water anymore and has to have it out the bottle? Do you notice the difference? Tell me what your baseline is. Where are you coming from?
I don't mind tap water. I've always lived around kind of in the northern suburbs, and I feel like we've got good tap water. Now, I'm living in North Perth now, and I must say I feel like the tap water is quite delicious, full-bodied. Notes of calcium, fluoride. Yes. So I'm really enjoying our tap water at home right now. I'm a cold water drinker.
Yeah, I can tell you,
it has to be cold.
It does make a difference. Like, we lived up north in Geraldton, and before that in Carnarvon, and travelled a few of those towns. And literally, we would sometimes book a holiday or not go back to a town because their water would taste funny. There was a couple that come to mind, a couple of the tourist towns up there. Lovely, but all the caravan parks, the water tasted funny, so we didn't ever want to go back. So there is
desalination projects working overtime up those parts.
There's something to be said for the bottled water, and there is a bit of pageantry and snobbery around it, I must
100%. say. It's marketing 101. Like, it literally is tap water. Like, all this stuff is coming out of a tap somewhere. It's just in a different bottle. So it was very interesting to see a science experiment take flight over the weekend.
Well, tell us. I want to know the science of it. I want to know the dependent variables. I want to know all the things you had. There
was about 6 of us blokes there. We had 10 different types of water. Everyone brought their own...
their favourite?
Yeah, everyone brought their favourite water. So we had a couple brands on offer, including Coolridge, Cappy, which is an Australian one, Antipodes, as I mentioned before, the Margaret River water.
Oh, yeah.
Pump, of course, you got your classics like Fiji.
Your Mount Franklins?
Yes.
I was always a Mount Franklin man, yes.
We had Voss as well in the glass bottle, and San d'Acqua, another Italian one, and of course Evian. So they faced off battle royale style. They came out served in anonymous, like unlabeled cups, so we
Yes.
didn't know what we were
Good.
drinking. We managed to do it so it was level playing field for every bottle. And we anonymously rated each water and didn't try to give each other too much of how we were going off it. We wanted a proper, unbiased opinion for each bottle.
I've got to say, the science on it, next level.
Yeah.
It's funny how in the weeds you get when it's something that you care about. It's
and
great.
So we have a couple nerds in our friend group. So there was also a pH gun came out to measure the pH level of each water. There was also
No way.
we were looking at chemical composition in terms of like sodium levels and other things in the water that could be affecting the taste.
No.
Yes, so it was very interesting to see all the results.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Look, without further ado.
Yeah, look, half the people do not care at all. I'm gonna
like,
say.
what is this?
But the water nerds and the people that are very passionate, the ones that are Voss through and through, or the Mount Franny boys like me, you know, it is a point of difference. So tell us, give us the results.
So I'll give you the last rated out of 10 waters that are pretty easily accessible.
Yep.
The last place was Evian.
Okay.
Yes. And so
was this, so before you go, was this everyone gave it a 1 to 10 and you averaged it out?
1 to 10, and then we added up the scores. So that rated the lowest out of everyone's scores. I said this tasted like boiled water, no vibe. It was basically like AI water.
If you told a computer program to make it, nice.
And then
Good description, so you should be a wine taster
I
sommelier.
felt like a water sommelier, honestly. And really, really surprisingly, Voss came third last.
Down the bottom.
Yeah.
So it is just the illusion. Maybe it's the glass in the bottle touching your lips.
Well, so
I don't know.
I thought all the glassed water bottles would rate a lot higher because I felt like you could really taste the plastic, but that one to me tasted very plastic. So very interesting to see the notes between each as well. When you're drinking
subtle
them
notes.
one by one, when you're drinking them individually, it's like they all they did taste the same, but then when you started comparing them side by side, genuinely you were like, wow, you can really taste like this one is a bit more full-bodied, a bit more of a quench on the palate. It felt lighter, some felt more dense, some tasted salty, some tasted earthy, so there was some real notes that we could differentiate. Also in the bottom 5 was Fiji water and Pump.
Oh,
yes.
We just have to check none of these are clients with us.
Sorry
Yeah,
if
no.
you're listening, Pump.
No. Call them out. I love this. This is the thing. It is objective, this process.
Yes.
Sounds the scientific part of it, I'm very impressed with.
Thank you. And dead center, which was the water that I bring, was the Margaret River water.
Yep.
Loved it. It was a very earthy flavor to it. It had you could really taste down south. Like genuinely, I felt like I could taste like Borenup and like Margaret River and like gum nuts and stuff.
You could taste the no shoes in the shopping centre on it.
Yes,
love that.
dirty dreadlocks. And then for our top 4, we had Antipodes, which is that big bulbous glass bottle one.
Yeah.
Which, not surprised that made the top 4, but really thought it would rate higher. Then we had and I want to add as well 3 out of the top 4 glass bottles.
Okay, so
I
maybe
think that says something. Okay, number 3 was Cappy, which is an Australian brand, also in a kind of bulbous glass bottle, available at IGAs and the like. And then we came to the last 2, the top 2.
I may
roll.
have a
Do we
drum
have a
roll
drum
here.
roll?
I don't know if I could get it in time. Nah, we'll add this in post. Hang on.
If anyone's actually listening to this,
Here we go.
Coolridge.
No way.
I know. So
Big
out of-
celebration.
Out of all the Italian
Coolridge.
imported waters, the Australian Coolridge, which was actually one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest, in this lineup for value, accessibility, and taste, rated the highest out of all of them, besides one, which we'll get to. But we all agreed that Coolridge probably will take the top spot in terms of accessibility. So now at the shops, we will reach for a Coolridge over something else. So Australian brands, support local.
Do you know what I love though? The conviction. You've done the science behind it.
Yes.
I back now, and whenever you tell me something, I am going to believe that you've done some research, that there's conviction behind this. I love it. I love it.
We could do a whole longer episode on vapes if you like.
Oh, have you done the same?
And then look, number one is imported. It is called Aquapanna. Now, this is a Italian brand. If you've ever eaten at like a semi-nice Italian restaurant before, it's always the water they have. It's owned by San Pellegrino.
Yep.
So I think they call it like the sister water. It's not always like the still version while the San Pellegrinos are sparkling. Incredible water. This tasted like water was like a breath of fresh air. Like I felt like I was drinking water on top of a mountain in a glacier. It was just a really amazing experience, and that rated 1.3 points higher than Coolridge. So it was a clear, definitive winner.
Wow. And I'd love to see if you can release your spreadsheets, please.
Yep.
I'd love to see the number breakdown.
The data is coming, but the numbers are being crunched as we speak. So we're testing the salinity, the pH level, and everything like that to find out really why it was good.
So summary. On the shelf, average punter going to be reaching for the Coolridge. That's
absolutely
your call.
For me, I think the Coolridge was the clear winner. But clear upset was obviously Voss. Evian tasted like dirty, like airport water. Pump, middle of the road. Fiji water, not much worse. But Coolridge for an Australian water in a plastic bottle, a clear winner, I would say.
You have opened an avenue here. I'd love to hear the vapes episode, but I think like a fast food chippies could be in order.
Yes.
You could have a little
chips
compare page.
Chip. Like, we also discussed over the weekend like what else we could test. There was a couple good ones. Yeah, chips definitely was on the cards as well.
Well, stay tuned. If Nathan, Nat and Shaun, for whatever reason, don't make it back or the show goes under, Sam and Sam reviews, it'll be the next big
Love
thing.
it.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.